Hi class, we're going to look at the motility auger results. When you look at motility auger, because there's less auger in the media, the bacteria can swim through the auger, but it doesn't allow it to sink out of the media because it is a little bit thicker. So this is going to tell us whether it is motile or able to swim versus non-motile, not able to swim. And then the second aspect we can look at is where it's growing. Is it growing near the surface only, or is it growing better at the surface, but it also grows fairly well down deep? Okay, if it's growing in both places, a little bit better at the surface area, then that's called a facultative anaerobe. Okay, and then if it only grows in the surface area, that is called an aerobe. Okay, so it requires oxygen, whereas the facultative anaerobe can, doesn't care either way. It can grow with oxygen, without oxygen, but it grows better with oxygen. All right, so let's look at the results. The first one here is E. coli. E. coli is growing throughout. It's out into the area because it's red. It interacted with the TTC material. It's growing better at the surface, but it grows throughout equally, fairly well. And so this is a facultative anaerobe, and it is motile. So E. coli, number one. Number two is Bacillus subtilis. Bacillus subtilis is growing really well at the surface, and then it doesn't grow very well down below. So it is a aerobe, and it is not motile because it's not expanding out throughout away from the pierce line. So that is number three, Bacillus subtilis. And this is number four, Enterobacter cloacae. And you can see it's growing throughout everywhere, and there's little pockets where it's growing. It creates its own gas from fermentation down deeper, and so then that will be an area that you can see extra growth. And so this is a facultative anaerobe, and it is motile. This is number four, Enterobacter cloacae. Number five, also great growth. This is number five, and so it's Enterobacter aerogenes. And number five is showing growth throughout, a little bit better on the top, but it grows really well down deep, and it is expanding out from the central pierce line. So this is an facultative anaerobe, and it is also motile. So this is number five, Enterobacter aerogenes, number five. Number six, this is number six, Bacillus megaterium. So there's a little bit of growth near the surface, pretty good growth near the surface, but nothing really substantial down below. So this is an aerobe, and it is not motile. It's not swimming. So that was number six, Bacillus megaterium. Number seven, this is number seven. It grows pretty much on line, and it grows okay down below, but I think that's just because we pierced it, and it is was carried down there, inoculated it with the oxygen that carried down it. So this is really going to be an aerobe as well, because we don't see it really growing all the way along this. And so this is an aerobe, and it is non-motile. That's number seven, Micrococcus luteus. Number eight, it is also not really growth down below very well, and it's not moving. So this is a non-motile and an aerobe. And so number eight is a Sarcina aurantica. Number nine is Aeromonas sobri, and this is what we see here. And it can grow. It's growing really solid down here, and it's releasing some gas. So this was a non-modal because it didn't spread out, and it is a facultative anaerobe. So this is number 9, Aromonas sobrii. Number 10 is Serratia marcescens, D1. Okay, so it's growing better at the surface, so it's an aerobe, but it is also not spreading out through the agar, so this is not modal. So this is number 10, Serratia D1. And then 10, 11, so this is a Micrococcus roseus. So again, it is growing at the surface better and is not spreading out. So this is an aerobe, and it is non-motile. So number 11, Micrococcus roseus, and Rhodococcus rhodocrus is number 12, and it is keeping its growth near the surface and it's not spreading out. So this is an aerobe, and it is non-motile. Okay. All right. So and then we got to find number the 841 Bravo. This is going to be your 841 Bravo example. So this is going to be better growth at the surface. Doesn't grow very well down below, and doesn't spread out. So it's non-motile, and it is an aerobe. Okay. All right, that's it. You can contemplate the results. Some of this, you still have to treat it a little bit of skepticism, but the fact that it is, modal or non-modal or such as that is going to be also depending on the size of the bacteria too. If it's a really large one, it might have some flagella maybe, but it's not going to swim. So we're going to call it like we saw it, but just keep in mind you got to take this as a big picture mixed with your other results, and so it has to all paint towards a result towards a specific bacteria before you can identify an unknown. All right, thank you.